And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
What's the biggest selling point of Greedy Greedy Goblins? Is it the fun artwork? Is it the fact that it's by AEG? No, it's the simple fact that it's designed by Richard Garfield. You guys know Richard Garfield, right? That guy who made that small card game, Magic the Gathering? Yeah, that guy. But he's also made a lot of other games, King of Tokyo. In fact, other than Magic the Gathering and maybe Robo Rally, most of his games are fairly simple, and Greedy Greedy Goblins fits into that mix. This is a speed game. Oh, wait! I know some of you are about to turn off the video and say, I'm out of here. But wait, it's not as bad as you might think. Check that out. At the beginning of the game, you're going to put a bunch of mines around in a circle. There's also this, basically the guild hall here that's placed somewhere, and a bunch of tiles are placed face down. Each player has their own guild, and it doesn't really matter. This is just symbols to help you remember stuff, except your color and what treasure you're most likely looking for. Then someone says go, and simultaneously each player using one hand will look at a tile, and you can place it on any of the mines that you want. And the tiles will have different things on them, and so players are taking that and placing that on a mine. Players also can take one of their goblins and put it on a mine. Once a goblin's on a mine, nothing else can be played on that mine. None of these stones can be put into the guild hall, but you can still claim the guild hall if you want to. And so players are just going to be keeping doing this until everyone has placed all their goblins except for one player. And that person then can put up to five more tiles out than they have to place theirs. There is a torch tile. When you place that on the spot, you place it face up, and then you take another tile and you place that one face up also. Once everyone does it, you're going to score each of these. Now there are minion cards. Minion cards, whoever claims the guild hall gets one. And minion cards can be used later on. Each will do different things, and I'll talk about those in a moment. Other than that, each mine is scored thusly. We take a look at this mine. We have this little dude here who will give you a minion card. Hooray. This green sapphire is worth, or emerald, I'm sorry, is worth 1 point. Diamond is worth 2. And the dynamite here doubles that. So this is going to be 3 times 2, which is going to be 6. So you're going to get 6 coins, and there's coins over here. Now, if I was the green player who has emeralds, this would be worth 2, and that would be 4 times 2, which is worth 8. This would be 5 times 2, which is worth 10. Let's say there was another dynamite there, it would be triple. That would be worth 13. And then if there was a third dynamite there, boom, you get nothing, and in fact, you lose 5. This guy is blown up by a dynamite and gets nothing. Monsters are also bad. Monsters will eat one of the treasures that's in there. And that's pretty much everything that's in this game. There's different types of dynamite. There's ones with double on them, which can make it explode. So 1 dynamite doubles, 2 dynamites triples, and 3 or more explodes. And so that's basically how you play, although players can also play with these cards. Like here, I can play this card and make all the sapphires in this cave worth an extra coin. Or here, I can add up to 3 mining tiles to a cave. Maybe I can avoid dynamite with one of these cards. Or each minion in this cave scores 2 coins. The minions are these guys here. And so you'll be able to play these cards to help yourself out. At the end of a round, you check, has anyone gotten to 100 or 60 gold, depending on the number of players? If so, the game ends and the person with the most gold wins. Otherwise, you put all these back in. Everyone gets these guys back, even if they've exploded. And you start another round. You keep going till someone reaches the required amount of money, and whoever has the most money is the winner. Remember I said this was a speed game, and it is. You're basically putting out tiles as quickly as you can. Although the rules are very clear, you have to look at a tile before you put it on a mine. But at the same time, I never felt like it was that big of a deal, because someone could put out some tiles and then throw their goblin down. But if you play slowly and deliberately, you can do okay in this game. I see a guy putting a bunch of tiles on a thing. Let's say turn 1. Okay, let's say somebody, will call them Jason. They put a whole bunch of tiles on a mine and they slam their own goblin there and they get a lot of points. I'm like, okay, fine. Turn 2, they put a whole bunch of tiles on the thing and I put my goblin there before they get a chance. Now I get a bunch of points. But they knew I was gonna do that, so then they put a bunch of dynamite there. Then Sally over here is playing very slowly and deliberately. She just puts a few
jewels on a spot, maybe 1 stick of dynamite, then puts her goblin down, gets fewer points maybe, but is able to do that consistently throughout the game, and she can win. Or she's getting special cards, which allow her to do all sorts of different things and score more points that way. The whole 1 stick doubles, 2 sticks triples, and 3 sticks blows up is really kind of a little brilliant thing, because you're sitting there like, oh, okay, all right, oh, just enough, and it blows up. And it's hilarious. Sometimes you go to a spot, there's like 10 tiles there, and 8 of them are dynamite. Well, maybe I find that hilarious. And then there's always a spot you can go to get a card. And I also like that the game has the rules so that when everyone finishes but one person, that person can only put 5 more tiles out. Otherwise, they'll slowly build up something big and take it. And so you play with 2 goblins with 3 or 4 players. If you're only playing with 2, you play with 3 goblins each. And so that kind of balances out the game is not a long one. I believe the box here says 30 minutes. I would say that it might even be less than that, and it really could be less than that, because you could simply change the number of coins you need to get, and also you could make it longer, although I don't think that you should. This game is kind of a perfect length as it is. The pieces are solid quality. My only complaint might be those goblins. I would have put stickers on them or something. They're just big giant discs. Everything else looks really good. The backlight plastic for the other tiles feels really good as you slam them around. It's a simple game. It will work for families. It's fast. Not everyone's going to like it. And some people won't like the speed, despite the fact that I don't think it's that big of a deal, because you can play methodically and carefully, and at the same time sometimes still try to beat someone else out to a spot. Certainly, it's not Magic the Gathering, but I don't think it's trying to be. It's just a good, fun family game, cool artwork, a collection game with a bunch of those moments of, hey, let's score this. Are you kidding me? 3 dynamite. Yeah, that's what happened again. Haha. Greedy Greedy Goblins. Silly fun and a good game.
Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.